Hello and welcome to part 1 of recreating Wednesday's Rave'N Dance dress. This video will be focusing on the shirt, and for the shirt I will be using this free pattern from Mood called the Melia Blouse. And if we go further into the pattern, so this is the pattern right here, I will only be using the collar pieces, so these two right here, the bodice pieces, these two right here, and then the sleeve cap of the sleeve piece. So I'm only gonna print out these 15 pages here and then the 3 pages right here. So let's get started on printing and cutting the pattern pieces out. Alright, so here's just a quick overview of the pattern pieces after I cut them out. We got the front pattern piece here, we got the back bodice piece here, we got the collar, we got the collar stand, and then we got the sleeve head. And now we're actually just gonna make a few alterations to the sleeve head so that we can make it into a cap sleeve. Alright, so it looks like on Wednesday's dress that there is a small cap sleeve which then has a ruffle attached to it. So I'm gonna make this sleeve head right here into a cap sleeve now, which is actually really simple. So I'm just gonna quickly do that. I'm gonna start by extending this line down the middle with just this thing that I found on the floor, which makes a perfect ruler, I guess. And then what I'm also gonna do is just find the middle points by taking this corner, by folding it up to meet the notch up here, and then I'm just gonna mark it and then do the same thing on the other side. And you know, this might not be the perfect way, but this is the way I'm doing it right now. Perfect. So I'm thinking the cap sleeve is about 2 inches wide. So I have here a measurement of 3 inches. So this includes 1/2 inch of seam allowance for this part here and also for the bottom part of the sleeve. So right here, I'm gonna mark, this is where the cap sleeve is gonna end. And then I'm actually just gonna try and draw it out here. All right, so here is somewhat of a curve, and then I'm just gonna cut this out, and then this is our cap sleeve. Alright, so for this dress I bought 15 meters of organza fabric, and I'm not actually sure that that will be enough, but we'll just have to make it work. And also, before I start cutting into this fabric, I just want to say that there's a lot of ruffles in this dress, and organza is not a very forgiving fabric. It's very slippery, so I'm kind of nervous. But I guess that I should stop procrastinating and just start cutting out the fabric. Oh, and also we'll have to cut out some interfacing pieces for the placket of the shirt and for the collar pieces. And then that will make the organza more sturdy, but it will also give us those accents that she has on her dress, because the collar and the placket is more black than the rest of the shirt. I'll show you those pieces later. Alright, so now I have cut out my pattern pieces in the organza fabric. So I got 2 front bodice pieces. I have 1 back bodice piece which is cut on fold. And then I got 2 pieces of my collar and of my collar stand, and they are both cut on fold. And then I got 2 pieces of my cap sleeve. And then with this pattern there are some darts for the front bodice. So I'm gonna mark these and sew them. And then there's also markings here for the buttons. I don't think I'm gonna mark those. I'm just gonna figure out their placement when I get to that part in the project. But I am gonna mark these placket markings right here, which tells me where to fold my fabric for the placket. Alright, and now I'm gonna show you the pieces that I have cut out for my interfacing. I have these 2 strips of these, which are 2 inches wide, and then they are the length of the front pattern piece here. And they fit perfectly between this placket marking and this placket marking, because this is where we want to enforce the placket. And then I also cut 1 piece of interfacing for my collar stand and 1 for my collar. Alright, so I think the next step for me is to iron on the interfacing to their respective pieces. I'm gonna sew the darts in the front pattern pieces, and then I'm gonna hem the edges of my cap sleeve. And then after that, I think we can start putting all the pattern pieces together. Right, so I was just like, let me just go iron this dart so it lays nice and flat. Let me just go do that. It ruined everything. So now I have to cut everything out again.
1 eternity later.
Alright, so here's the shirt so far. I obviously did a little more than just top stitch the placket and the cap sleeve, but I'll give you a close-up of the shirt right now so that you can see what has been done on it. But I actually really like how it's turning out, so let me just show you. As you can see here, I did the darts. I hemmed the cap sleeves, and then I also attached them to the shirt itself. The shoulder seams and the side seams are done with French seams. And then obviously I top stitched the placket here, which you can't really see. The game plan now is to top stitch the collar to the shirt, then to make buttonholes down the placket. And then I'm gonna start ruffling up some strips of organza fabric. And then I know I haven't done a good job at like explaining how I put the pattern pieces together to get the shirt to where it is now. So I will link to a more detailed tutorial in the video description, just so that if you don't know how to do this, and you want to, then you can go watch that. I am watching that. Alright, so it's a little bit dark now, so sorry about the lighting, but I just wanted to show you what I'm doing with the ruffles. I have this organza roll here, which has 3 meters of organza fabric in it. So what I'm gonna do is cut out 3 strips about 12 centimeters wide, and then I'm gonna do a rolled hem on all 4 edges of each strip. And then after that, I'm gonna gather it to fit the shirt. The circumference of the shirt is 1 meter, and then my strips of fabric will be 3 meters. So then I'm gonna gather them down to be 1 meter. So that they fit around the shirt, so they will be very ruffly. Okay, so I just attached the first ruffle here. Unfortunately, I put it on a little bit uneven, but luckily this was the first ruffle, so hopefully the next ones will be a little more even so that you won't see this part right here. But yeah, the first ruffle is already attached. As you can see here, it's attached around the edge of the cap sleeve, and then the next one will go approximately like here, and then the last one will go up here. and I also have marked them right here. So I have my 3 meter long strip of organza fabric right here, and then I've made a gathering stitch that runs all along this edge, and then I pull these threads at the end to gather it up until it fits around the shirt like this. So yeah, now I will continue to do that and then attach the last 2 ruffles. Alright, here she is, all done and ruffled up. She looks pretty good. Actually, the only thing I need to do right now is add buttons. That's the only thing missing. Other than that, she's actually good to go, and I'm ready to make the skirt now. But that will be in another video, so thank you for watching this one, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.